Alright, we're back. It's been 9 days for the step 1 in the rotary. I went ahead and did my 3 days each in the vibratory. So after I open up this batch, I have a finished batch in the vibratory. So let's see what we got. Alrighty. I apologize for the state route that's in front of me and my air conditioner that's behind me. But here we go. Let's see what they look like. They are rounding off. I like to dump about half the rocks in and clean them off a little bit and then dump the rest in, because what I find is no matter how much water I run on them, the ones at the bottom will still have grit on them if I dump them all in at the same time. And I'm actually going to put some water in the barrel before I take them out. Alrighty. Some nice looking rocks in here. I try to clean this barrel as best I can, but I also don't worry a whole lot about it because it's doing step 1 and it's going to be doing step 1 again and again and again. So I don't really have to worry about cross-contamination on this barrel. But with the vibratory, I try to clean it a little better because I'll do step 2, step 3, step 4, then back to step 2. So like today, I wouldn't technically have to worry too much because I'm going to go from step 4 to, if I have enough, I'll be going to step 2. But at the same time, if you stay on top of it, it's not as hard to keep everything clean. So there we go. It's interesting. I don't know what that is. Must be something from the river. These edges always end up welcome to life on a state route. We get trucks up and down in front of the house all the time. Rinse that off. Rinse that out a little bit. And I think we'll head inside at that. Okay, we're back inside and it's back to the usual. This is filler, and obviously it's not going to move on at this point that way, but so basically checking all the rocks. It's got some rough on it. There's some nice rocks in here. They got some rough spots on them, though, it seems like. I took 2 pretty big pieces, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get these to wear out some of these bigger holes in them. But I figured in the meanwhile they're filler, This one's coming out pretty nice. I like this. I'm not sure what kind of rock this is. I got it at the Ohio River, and I've had a couple other pieces, and I've had mixed success in tumbling it. But yeah, hey, that's how you find out. It seems like a lot of this still has some rough spots on it. Ooh, this is a nice one, and it's close. I'm going to say maybe one more week on that one. It might be good to go. Same with that one. Some of these bigger pieces, I think they take longer. There's more surface area for the grit to get to. This one's close. Towards the end of last year, I tried some bigger pieces, and I just want to see if I can get a couple of nice big ones to come out. I've got a lot of really nice smaller pieces. Like I said before, all I'm doing is I'm feeling for rough spots. So like I honestly don't even have to look while I'm doing this. I feel there's a spot right there, and there's some spots right there. I'd like to wear down before I move on. Oh, here's another nice one. Look at that. See if I can get that to focus. That's pretty impressive. It's got a crack. I don't know if it's all the way through, but it's pretty big. This is the one that I think last week I was debating on whether or not to knock that little knob off of there or cut it off or something. Let's see how it goes. Let's see, this one's ready. Okay. This must be something I got at the river, because this is not tiger eye, and that's all that I put in there. But whatever it is, kind of cool looking. And I'd say maybe next week it might be ready, and I'll send it on. I'm gonna assume that most of you don't want to watch me sit here and go through each rock individually, because it's probably going to take me a good 10 minutes to get through all of this. So I'm going to stop the camera. When I come back, I'll probably be outside cleaning off the vibratory, which that stuff is now done. And if I have enough, then I'll start up another batch. And depending on how much I take out of this batch, I may have to come up with something to fill in a little bit more. I think I've got about all the gravel I got from the river in there. But right now, it's not feeling like I'm taking a whole lot out. Alright, so probably just, well, in the internet land, in a blink of an eye, we'll probably be outside. Okay, I'm back outside. We have the LotO barrel out here. And I'll empty this whole thing in here. It's a 4.5 pound capacity, so it's not that hard to get all rinsed off, but you still usually end up, there's a good bit, I don't know if you can even see that, but there's a good bit of ceramic still left in there. You get kind of a thick slurry in there, even with polish. These rocks are essentially done. This was a polish step 4. I did 3 days in step 2, 3 days in step 3, and 3 days in step 4. And we're now done with step 4. Now here's my ever famous toilet bowl brush, and this is how I clean the inside. As I mentioned earlier, this one I'm not real worried on this step, because I'm going to go from step 4 back to step 2. So, you know, cross-contamination with a higher grit isn't a problem. But when I'm going from like 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, you got to make sure you clean it out really well, because that'll mess up your next step. You're only going to get a polish at the level of the coarsest grit that's in your barrel. So if you got a little bit of step 2 in there and you run step 3, it's just not going to work. So there you go. Alright. I think I see some shiny, which is good because that's the goal. Get that out of there. Get that off a little bit. I still had a couple of pieces of ceramics in there. Yep. And it looks like I got a little bit of grit right on the inside of the lip of the barrel. Alright. And now I'll go back inside. We'll give them a good rinse inside and then we'll take a look at what we got. Okay, we're back inside, and I've got the rocks in here. And this time I'll just basically give them a little bit of a rinse. And I'm going to move them over to the towel I have set up to receive them so they can dry off. And this is just one last check to make sure that there's no slurry on them. It doesn't seem like there is, but just double checking. I didn't have a whole lot of rocks out of the step 1 ready to move on to step 2. I can give you a quick look. This is about all I had that I thought was ready. So I'm going to hold off a week and see what I might have next week. So I'm not going to start another batch of vibratory today. So essentially I'm just going to start step 1 back up and see what I get for next week. But I am going to be shutting down here because at the end of May, my sons and I are going to take off on sort of an extended vacation. So for basically the month of June, I'm going to be gone. So there may be a couple more videos here in May, but then it's going to be video silence for a month, and then when I get back, I'll probably start up again and tumble some more. So there we go. Alright, I'll stop the camera, and when I get all the rocks out and ready to go, I'll bring you back. Okay, these are the finished product. Several of them are still wet, but they're probably mostly still wet, but I have no reason to believe they wouldn't be just as shiny when they're dry. So I'll take this one and I'll dry it off a little bit and give a look at it. There you go, that's perfectly dry and it's pretty darn shiny. I've had some people asking me about, there's a lot of people that do a burnishing stage between stages where they'll take borax and they'll run it for, I've heard everything from 15 minutes to 4 hours between, when you finish one stage, start the next stage, make sure you get the rocks clean and all that. I haven't been doing it, and right now with the results I'm getting, I'm not doing it. What I heard from Me Miner, if you've ever watched him, is if I take one like this, okay, and I rub it on my pants good, and it looks shinier, then it might be worth doing a burnishing stage. And I don't see a difference. I think they're still pretty darn shiny, so I just don't see a need to do it. But if I start noticing that they seem frosted, or they're not as shiny as I want, then I might very well do it. I've got a whole bucket of borax over there, so I'm fully capable of doing it. But I just haven't been doing it at this point. And here's the other thing: if you do it, I am not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. It's all in what works for you. All right, I think I'm going to call this a video. And as I said, what I'll probably do is I'll come back next week, see if I have enough to run the LotO again, and see how that goes. But like I said, at the end of May, I'm going to be taking off, and my sons and I are going to be camping out in national parks for the entire month of June. We're doing a loop around the entire United States. There's like 17 states that if you live near a national park, I may be cruising by. So you have a good time tumbling, and hopefully you get good weather where you are, and I'll see you in the next video.